New York City right now is having a hot mess. We got sanctuary trap. New York City Mayor Adams has had an epiphany on the migrant crime deportations. And this is a big deal, right? You know, Mayor Adams was a huge advocate for the migrant crisis, right? He really wanted New York to be like the biggest sanctuary city. He wants to have as many people as possible. And New York City went all out. They have almost 200,000 people in New York City right now, 200,000 migrants, many of them without jobs, and they have to rely on the city to eat and to stay. You know how expensive that is? Well, let me tell you guys, they're going to be spending about $12 billion to all the way to the end of 2025. That is an extremely pricey thing to do, right? $12 billion in a year and a half is more expensive than any sort of infrastructure project that New York City has to offer. You know, 12 billion bucks, if you just buy a plot of land in America, you could build skyscrapers, hundreds and thousands of suburban homes and townhomes. But instead, they're spending it all on the migrant crisis without much to show for. And if you look into some of the numbers, it's frankly kind of scary. We got the Learning to Work program maybe on the chopping block. And the reason why is they're going to be cutting funding for this just for the migrant crisis. This is why so many people are very frustrated at the mayor right now. Even very, very critical areas in New York that are very important, they can't even spare these guys a few million bucks to keep the door open, but they're cool with spending $12 billion on the migrant crisis. The Learning to Work program serves 16,000 students enrolled in 66 second chance or transfer schools. And this is a no-profit organization. Okay, you have a lot of other communities that are helping this out. Many students are behind in academic credits or have criminal records. And let me tell you guys, many of them are working right now and trying to get back on track towards graduation or learning skills to get a job. This is something that every city needs to be putting money into. Why not put like hundreds of millions of dollars in this? I guarantee you, if they stuff more money into programs like these, we could get a lot of kids in New York City to not be fall behind in school and basically, at the end of the day, get a job, get a good life, and work towards graduation, which is something that's very, very honorable to do. But instead, you know, New York City is spending a lot of money on the migrants, which is okay if you just take in a few thousand, but you take in almost 200,000 people, and now you're running low of cash, and everyone is fed up with you. That is not something that you want to do. And look at this. Ex-Governor Patterson is even backing New York City Mayor Adams to ease the sanctuary rule for violent migrants. And Mayor Adams does a sudden U-turn, by the way. He basically said that, hey, if you commit violent crimes in New York City, you don't deserve to live in New York City, which many people are kind of agreeing towards. And a lot of people have also been saying that it's a little suspicious to see New York City Mayor Eric Adams do a complete 180 because he was so vocal, such a big advocate for the migrant situation, that doing a 180, something had to pop up. He now supports changes to sanctuary city law and currently protect migrants in New York City after the city has been buckling under the strain of invasion of migrants. He basically says that we need to stop this. We need to cut the inflow. Even the New York governor, she's like, yes, I agree with this. And it really does, in my personal opinion, boil down to money. When you're spending 5, 6, 7 billion in a single no bid contract wave, and taxpayers are basically getting fleeced and everyone's getting ripped off, of course everyone's mad. And no wonder New York City is buckling under the strain of massive amounts of migrants. So Eric Adams doing a complete 180 may have just saved the city of New York. May not have done a great job overall, but at the very least, New York might not go into complete anarchy and chaos. Because now, doing a complete 180, they may be able to recoup some of their lost money. He also declares the law a detriment to public safety. And many people are not really believing Eric Adams. People are saying that it could be because of public outcry. If you go talk to some of the residents in Harlem and check out some of the videos on X, they're pretty furious that basically the city is putting migrants over them, despite Harlem is having people getting gentrified and pushed out, people who don't have the money to pay rent, people sleep on the streets, they don't get anything, right? There's a talk of fairness in Harlem. People are really, really mad about, you know, Eric Adams. And then sagging poll numbers. Everyone is not happy like that, right? Everyone, if you talk to anyone in the streets of New York City, especially the working class, they are saying the same thing. They're sick and tired of the migrant crisis. They get nothing. Nothing ever gets trickled down to them. and they're going to remain broke with nothing to show for. And New York City, hey, I mean, why can't you spend a little bit more money on stuff like this? The Learning to Work program. I think that's pretty awesome. I think programs like these actually improve a city's outcome and make it a more desirable place to live. Why not stuff more money into this? Or maybe cheaper housing for some of the people who get gentrified. All this kind of stuff, right? New York is a very wealthy city. And I'm sure if New York has good leadership, it'll become one of the best cities on earth. But right now, it's not looking so great, and it's only getting worse. Let's see what happens to New York City. Hopefully, New York recovers, and let's see what Mayor Adams does in the next few weeks. It's going to be pretty interesting. See you guys later.